Hey everybody, it's Gomlet X, and welcome to my first regular Guilds of Ravnica draft. I did do one competitive draft, and it ended pretty poorly. Let's see if I can do any better in just a regular little quick draft here. So, in this pack is insanely Dimir heavy. Look at all this blue-black. Yeah, and all the stuff that isn't blue-black are not first pickable at all. So it seems like it's Connive and Concoct, or a City Watch Sphinx, or a Necrotic Wound, stuff like that. I think Connive and Concoct is easily the strongest card here, so I'm just going to pick that and see where we go. So this pack, there's a Beast Whisperer, which I think is good. It is kind of slow, but the amount of card advantage it gets you is insane. This pack is not very Dimir at all, which is unfortunate. There's a Guild Summit if I want to try to go deep on the Guild Gate plan. There's Electrostatic Field, which can be good. Leapfrog is probably mediocre. This looks like a mediocre pack in general. Skyknight Legionnaire's pretty good, and Beast Whisperer's probably okay. So it should probably be between those two, but I could pick a Guild Summit and try and do that kind of stupid deck here. Which I think I might. If I do take the Beast Whisperer, I'm probably going to try to move into Golgari, splashing in the blue. Let's just take the Beast Whisperer, actually. I'm really not sure about the Guild Gate strat. So here there's a Pelt Collector, which has to be at least alright. Right? Good in a little aggressive deck. He'll just keep getting bigger throughout the game. So your 1-drop could eventually be like a 3/3 or 4/4. There's a Glowspore Shaman, which is a really good enabler for Undergrowth cards, so that is also worth considering. It's probably between those two. Dimir Informant, also good. It's just a large toughness on a card that also surveils, which is pretty good for Dimir decks. And I don't want to take an Undercity Uprising this early. You want creatures that are really tradable or are going to survive the fight. And I don't have any of that confirmed. So between Glowspore and Pelt Collector here, probably. I'm gonna pick up the Pelt Collector. Because there's just less opportunities to play with him because he's a rare, so I would like to try him out. Here there's a Prey Upon, a Wild Ceratok, Veiled Shade, Whispering Snitch. Lot of just mediocre cards. Prey Upon's probably the best thing in the kind of strategy that we have so far, or just in some of the colors that we have so far. But I think the best card in this pack is actually Luminous Bonds. So it is possible that we switch into Selesnya here and just drop Connive Concoct. I'm not a major fan of 3+ color decks anyway, so I'm going to take... I think if we end up Golgari, we won't be short on removal because all the black removal is so good. So I am going to take this Luminous Bonds. I'm just going to let that Prey Upon get out of here, just in case we move into Selesnya here. And now we got a Glowspore Shaman, so it looks like we're going to stick to maybe Golgari. So I'm going to pick up the Glowspore. Nothing else really exciting in that pack. Nothing exciting at all in this pack. Could take a Selesnya Guildgate, or I could take a Spinal Centipede, or a Pilfering Imp. These are both good in Undergrowth decks. Spinal Centipede is good because you want to trade it off, and Pilfering Imp is good because it has a sorcery-like ability just on a creature, so you just shove it into your graveyard and add to your Undergrowth pretty early on. I'm going to take... kind of want to take the Centipede here, just because I want more larger creatures to add to the Pelt Collector. Plus, having 1-drops and 2-drops makes the Imp less good because then you have other things to use the mana on. I think I can maybe pick up some more Glowspore Shamans and stuff in the 2-drop slot. So I'm going to pick up the Centipede. I don't know. Maybe these are nonsensical reasonings, and they probably are, but I'm trying my best. would like to take a Guildgate here. It's between the Guildgate and the Severed Strands. Severed Strands can be really good, but it can also be pretty jank. I think it's really good in Golgari decks with the right early creatures. So there's like a 1 black mana 0/3 with Surveil 1. I don't know what the consensus is on him, but I really like running him with Severed Strands because he lets you set up your top deck, and then he blocks early creatures for a little bit, and then when he doesn't, you can just start using your Severed Strands and sacrificing him. So I really like Severed Strands with just the little cards like that, the little defenders that they have in the set. But I probably should take a Guildgate here because my mana... Right now I have 3 colors of cards. Who knows where we're going here. And I don't really have anything that I want to sacrifice to the Severed Strands yet. I mean, I do have a Spinal Centipede. But everything else, not so much. And there was another Severed Strands earlier, and I think we just wheeled it. Or wait, no. This is not my pack. Alright, well, we did get another Severed Strand, so I can pick up the Severed Strands or the Burglar Rat. Burglar Rat also good in your Golgari decks just because it's an early drop that does a little bit of something to your opponent, and it'll just get into your graveyard really quickly. But I think I'll take the Severed Strands here. I'm not excited about the Rat at all. So here's our pack. Here's our Severed Strands that also wield. You can take a Dimir, Guildgate, or a Pilfering Imp. I don't really want to take any of these blue cards because they both require a lot of blue. This one I want a lot of blue for the ability. This one I want double blue for just casting in the first place. So I think I'll pick up a Pilfering Imp here, because I do already have 1 Severed Strands and they seem to be going somewhat late. I'll pick up a Guild Summit here because the odds of us playing a red card is very unlikely, and the other cards in here are just not good. Probably not playing Guild Summit either, though. We can take this Undercity Uprising, because I'm not going to play the rest of these cards. There would be an argument for Enhanced Surveillance sometimes if you're in a Dimir deck, I think, but Dimir is going to be at most a splash here. Actually, let's throw the Uprising in the deck for now. Take a Veiled Shade. If push comes to shove, it's a creature we can run. Take a Crushing Canopy. For the sideboard, but there is no sideboarding in Quick Draft, not that it matters. We'll take a Wary, Okapi, and last pick Vicious Rumors. So if we were really missing out on Vicious Rumors, then I can just run it anyway. Alright, so does this deck look like it can move into the Guildgate strategy? Because that is a Chamber Sentry. That is basically the rare for the Guildgate strategy. That is the 5-color rare. So if you spend Wooburg on it, then it's a 5/5 that you can pay X, tap it, deal X to something, and you can keep returning it from your graveyard to your hand, so you can just keep killing whatever they play and just take over the game with your Chamber Sentry. Man, I really probably shouldn't, but he seems fun. What do I have for multicolored stuff? Then I would run the Luminous Bonds, I'd run the Guild Summit. I only have 1 Guildgate so far. Is there anything for the Golgari deck here? There's a Generous Stray and a Golgari Locket, neither of which I'm that excited about, so I'm probably not playing anything else. So we'll take the Chamber Sentry, maybe we'll move into it. So here there is an Iron Shell Beetle, an Undercity Uprising again, a Whisper Agent. Or I could take a Guildgate or a Response and Resurgence if I'm trying to do like many colors. I think this is kind of one of those moment of truth moments. Like, if I'm going to do the Guildgate thing, then I can just pick up this Response and have more removal. Like, let me just take this stuff out and see how well this looks as just a green-black deck right now, like how good of a start we have on it. Yeah, this is certainly not an exciting deck. So I don't know, I don't think we're missing out that much on just dropping Golgari. well, not dropping it, but, you know, moving into 5-color instead of just having a basic little Golgari deck. Because the other thing is there was nothing good in Golgari in the first pack and the second pack, so we just missed out on 2 powerful Golgari cards, or what could have been 2 powerful Golgari cards. So this deck seems really lacking. I mean, the best thing we have is Beast Whisperer, which is even then a little bit loose because they could just, if they shoot it, it's really easy to kill. It's a 2/3. Oh man! All right, we're doing it, guys. I'm not good at Magic, but I have fun. Should probably actually take the guild gate over the response. I don't know how much the AI wheels these guild gates, and I don't think I'll be super missing out on response. So I'm taking the guild gate. Second pick, guild gate. There's a Mausoleum Secrets, which is not very good at all. Yeah, so again, this is another pack that, if I were still in the Golgari strat, I'd probably just take a 2/2 Vigilance. Like, I mean, I could take the Mood Mark Painter, but I haven't been a huge fan of that card so far. I'm gonna take another guild gate. Let's see. this is bad. I'm not seeing any other guild gate payoff cards. So for sticking to Golgari, it would be the Rhizome Lurcher, the Deadweight. So I can take the Deadweight because I'm gonna run that in Golgari or 5-color. Could also take Thief of Sanity. Thief of Sanity is probably pretty good. Plus that works in the Sultai build. I'll pick up a Thief of Sanity there. There's a Swarm Guild Mage, which I don't think that's actually very good, because a lot of times in Golgari I find myself just having one large threat, because they do have some nice large creatures. Especially thanks to Undergrowth triggers and stuff. So like giving your whole field +1/+0 menace, not really that exciting unless you're in Golgari Selesnya. But this is Golgari Sultai here, so... anything really exciting at all? Yeah, I'm just not excited about that Guild Mage, to be honest. Nothing really exciting here to me. I'll pick up a Guild Gate. Lotleth Giant. That is sort of a game ender in a Golgari deck. It is a lot of mana though. The other options aren't super exciting. Generous Stray is probably the best out of the other options. It seems okay. I mean, Skyscanner was really good, and it's similar, but a decent amount worse. Pick up this Lotleth Giant. Here we have a Vigor Sporeworm. That's one of those late game Golgari payoffs that you want. See, here's the Golgari cards. Why couldn't I have opened this stuff? Plaguecrafter is sweet. It adds to your Undergrowth count by just sacrificing itself or one of your other creatures. And it stops your opponent's early game stuff. So it's also good for just making it to your late game Golgari bombs. So I'm going to pick up this Plaguecrafter. Nothing really here for us. We could pick up a Generous Stray or a Guild Gate, or I guess a Notion Rain. If I do go Sultai. Yeah, let's pick up a Notion Rain, actually. Yeah, so this is a confusing mess of a deck, but I am still open to splashing in white-red or just sticking to Sultai, depending on where this last pack goes. None of these cards are good in this deck. We'll take a 2/1, I guess. Probably not going to play it. Take a Whisper Agent. That's a pretty likely play. Probably not playing any of these. Pick up a Darkblade Agent. I will play a Barrier of Bones. Get rid of this Book Devourer, I guess, because it's uncommon, so it's slightly cooler. Ooh, I could play that guy. He's pretty big. Nullhide Ferox. That seems pretty balmy in Limited, so I think I'm just going to take that. We will actually just move right back into Golgari here. Oh, he these last... Oh! We have a deck now. We'll just open the mono green mythic followed by the mono black mythic. Alright, world. Well, it's time to move right back into just Sultai. That was ridiculous. Got rewarded for being really bad. There we go, there's our deck. 23 cards. It's perfect. It's really not. It's really not very good at all. Alright, so this pack, I'm going to take a Prey Upon here. Take an Undercity Uprising or another Barrier of Bones. I do have one Severed Strands. I like Barrier of Bones because it's an early creature that surveils to add to your Undergrowth, and you can just block with it or sacrifice it to add to your Undergrowth as well. There's a Devkaran Dissident, which seems like it's been pretty good every time I've used it. I also only have one 2-drop. I actually do think I want 2 drops. There's also Dimir Guildgate, which could be pretty important, as we are 3-color. Probably take out this Darkblade Agent here. I think what we want to do is get better Golgari cards and start moving off of the Dimir Splash to where the only things that we're splashing in are Connive and Thief of Sanity. So we just gotta get this Notion Rain out of here. Oh wait, that's the 23 cards is counting these lands. Alright, so I need a couple more cards in here. Okay, how important is it that we get another 2-drop, or can we just get the mana fixing? I think I have enough 1-drops to hold off a little bit, and then a decent pile of 3-drops. I don't think I'll be missing too much by not getting a 2-drop out on curve, so I'm going to take a Guildgate. Another Whisper Agent. Oh wait, no, there's a Deadly Visit. Never mind. Deadly Visit is incredible. In my opinion, that's a pretty easy pick for me. Take a Crawl Foragers. It just gains a bunch of life. It's not the most exciting Undergrowth card. I definitely prefer Vigor Spore Worm and Lot of Giants okay. Take a Silent Dart. It is another removal spell, but I think I'm doing okay on removal. I have a Prey Upon, a Severed Strands, a Plague Crafter, a Deadly Visit, and Undercity Uprising. Yeah, I'm doing fine on removal, so I don't need to take the darts. I don't think you really want the darts unless you really don't have much removal at all. We'll just take a Crawl Foragers, toss it in the sideboard for now. Do I have any 4-drops? I do have a couple. I have a Beast Whisperer and an Olhai Ferox. So I don't really need the Wild Ceratok, but I like it better than the rest of this stuff. Like, the Moodmark Painter does have a decent impact when it hits the board, but I like stuff that just is going to still have an impact, because after you get that initial Menace buff off the Moodmark Painter, it's just a 2-3 on the board, which isn't very exciting at all. Here's a pretty good 2-drop to pick up here. Child of Night. It just is a 2-drop, and we need to fill up our 2-drop slot, and it's also a creature that you're fine trading off early, because you still get a little bit of value out of it by gaining a little bit of life. So just these random early creatures that trade are pretty good in Undergrowth decks. So probably Necrotic Wound here, I guess? Just another early removal spell. That or a Generous Stray or an Okapi. How am I doing on creature count? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I only have 16 creatures. I think you want like a lot of creatures for Undergrowth. So I'm going to take the Stray here because it's a creature to trigger Undergrowth, and it also helps us get to our bombs, like our Beast Whisperer or our Ferox or anything like that. Pick up another Severed Strands. Peck's Favor that I'm probably not running. Take another Barrier of Bones, an early creature. Works really well with the Severed Strands. Not playing any of this. Throw a Dazzling Lights in the sideboard. Pick up this Invert and Invent, and pick up the Vicious Rumors. Alright, I have to take 4 cards out of this strange deck. All worked out in the end, but it got really rough for a second there. Oops, that's not what I wanted to take out. We'll keep him in there. Take out Notion Rain. And keep Whisper Agent, because he's basically 2 black in 1. Thief of Sanity is the hardest card on the splash because it's an early card that requires blue. Connive and Concoct. Worst case scenario, I can always cast Connive, just off the black mana. And Whisper Agent the same way, I can just use black mana. Plus, the part that requires blue on Concoct is a 5 mana spell instead of a 3 mana spell, so it's more likely we'll have blue at that point. So Thief of Sanity definitely is the hardest splash in here. The most risky one. So they recommend 1 island, so they recommend 3 blue sources. That actually seems probably accurate. The only thing is, then I'm definitely only casting the Thief of Sanity pretty late. I kind of want to just take the Thief of Sanity out, because then it just doesn't matter if I never have an island. But if I do, there's upside if I want to concoct. I could also just take out the island. I could take out the island completely and just play it as a Golgari deck that sometimes gets to use Concoct instead of Connive thanks to a Guild Gate. Which also seems pretty good. Yeah, as cool as Thief of Sanity is, I think I want to keep my mana a little bit better. I really like safe mana bases. I think I probably overvalue it. Okay, so I'm going to take that island out of there. How many lands do I have? 8, 13, 14, 15, 16. Do want another one. Let's throw another forest in. Alright. Need to take 2 more cards out. Lotleth Giant, maybe. It's just really expensive. I feel like Vigor Spore Worm is like almost better most of the time. I really like Vigor Spore Worm because it comes out, it makes one of your dudes massive and vigilant, so it just swings in, gets something off the board, or does a lot of damage to your opponent. And then for the rest of the game, since it can't be blocked by more than one creature, it also works well at just clearing things off the board to eventually get you through. Whereas Lotleth Giant, it shows up and it damages your opponent a bunch, so it can maybe finish them off. Like, Lotleth Giant is really good in like a mid-range deck where your opponent's going to be at a lower amount of life. It just does less to end the game by itself. It needs you to have damaged them earlier to end the game by itself, because otherwise it's just a 6/5. It can be blocked by multiple things and just killed. I like this deck, but I need to take a couple cards out. Maybe take this Veiled Shade out. Yeah, I do have a lot of late drops. I don't think I'll have too much time for mana sinks. One more card. Take out the Okapi, take out the Stray. Can actually just take out this Uprising, because I have enough removal where I don't have to fight. Actually, do I now at this point? Yeah, I do. I have 2 Severed Strands. I have a Prey Upon. Maybe I actually just take out the Prey Upon. No, because I've got a 6/6 and another 6/6 and a 6/4 and a 6/5. Okay, maybe Uprising and Prey Upon aren't that bad. Just take out the Dowser of Lights. That seems fine. I'll take out the Dowser. I have enough large stuff and cheaper large stuff. Alright, we're gonna run this Golgari weird deck, where the image isn't even a card that's in the deck. Let me go ahead and fix that. What should this deck's image be? Let's make it... Let's throw a Doom Whisper up there. Alright. Let's get into these games. Hopefully we can win at least a couple. unlike last time. Alright. So here we are. Round 1, we have all of our colors. We have a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, but we want to play Guild Gates to get there. This is definitely a keep. So I could drop the Barrier of Bones turn 1. I think I'd rather Child of Night turn 2. So let's drop the Golgari Guild Gate first, because green mana is more important to this deck than blue mana. Sweet. Alright, they did not play anything, so I'll drop this Child of Night. Hopefully it'll get in there a turn. I also could have just played the Guild Gate there and dropped a Barrier of Bones, because then I could do Barrier of Bones turn 2 into Generous Stray turn 3. But they didn't play a creature, so I'm happy with my play. Nice. Child of Night needs to get in there. Anytime you can get in with the Child of Night without it just immediately having to trade off with something is a pretty sweet time. Alright, so let's drop this Barrier of Bones and see what's on top. A Swamp. So it'll give me the mana for Concoct. You know, I think I do actually want a Swamp right now, because I want to get to 5 mana, hopefully, so that I can Concoct and bring back, hopefully, something decently big, like the Giant or the Worm or the Ferox. I actually do have a lot of reanimation targets for Concoct that could go pretty well. So I can Sever Strands the 2-3 to get in there with Child of Night again, or I could just drop a Generous Stray. I do have 2 Severed Strands, so I'm fine being aggressive here. Sack my Barrier. I also could have just stole it, but I feel like I can steal something better than a 2-3. Maybe they'll have a Thief of Sanity of their own. There are some really good things you can steal. And alternatively, I can concoct something very large. So that's a 1-3. This Child of Night's kind of blanked now. That's okay, it got me up. Got me 4 life from them. I'll just play the Stray and see what they do. There's a no copy. No attacks here. But yeah, the Darkblade Agent, I don't actually have that much surveillance here, so it's mostly just going to be a 2-3 if I stole it. So casting Discovery, just surveil 2 and draw a card, seems pretty good. They are not going to hit me with that Drake. Gonna main phase this Whisper Agent, see what we got coming up. Plague Crafter, I like that. That can get rid of that Muse Drake, hopefully. If they play another creature, we can Severed Strands and Plague Crafter in the same turn. So that would be pretty sweet if they just play like a large 6-mana creature or something. Well, playing a Deadweight on my 3-2. I guess because it could get through the Drake. They do play a large creature. Very nice. We're going to clear the field here. So let's just Severed Strand... Well... Drop a Plague Crafter. Sacrifice a creature. I will sack my 1-2. We're going to Severed Strands. Destroy that. So it's probably better to hold off and sack the Plague sack the Child of Night, but I really like being aggressive more than I should. And I can concoct back the Plague Crafter. Actually, that seems pretty sweet. This gives me options. Now I can concoct back the Plague Crafter if they play something super scary. Hopefully they're starting to run out of cards, but it doesn't look like it. They have 5. Another Discovery. Their deck is sweet. They got 2 Discovery and Dispersal. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't Dispersal there. They do not have a lot of cards. Well, that's rough. I only have 1 green still, so I can't play this Ferox. Let's see if I can get in there with Child of Night. Yep, alright, well, we'll just drop a no copy. They gotta get something out there. Oh, they're just gonna counter my 3-2? Alright. That makes me think their hand is not very great. Which is good. Okay, so there's a Spy Bug. I might actually want to steal the Spy Bug. Just so I don't die to it. Well, I'm at 33. I'm at 33 life. I don't think I need to steal the Spy Bug. I could steal the Crab. And then they don't have any blockers. I can also just cast a Ferox. I'm gonna cast a Ferox, see if they deal with it. Because if they don't deal with it, this thing just starts getting in there. Alright, they're just gonna deal with it. Alright. So that sucks. That means I just have to pay a 2-mana tax on my non-creature spells. Meanwhile, they don't really care. Alright. I'm stealing the Crab. Now we're in top deck mode, which is really rough against a Dimir player. Alright, I got them to Burglar Rat a land, so that feels good. That Burglar Rat is just going to trade with my Child of Night, though, which is rough. They are down to 8. Lotleth Giant actually would be sweet now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, any Undergrowth cards are going to be pretty sweet off the top. If this Child of Night trades off, my Pelt Collector gets bigger, which is fine with me. Really rough they had an instant speed surveil card there. Oh. Or not. They could have just eaten the Child of Night and taken 2. Which I probably would have done, but I guess they are worried about random burn stuff, like a Lotleth Giant. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think we can win now. Once the Dimir deck starts going, it's pretty stupidly unstoppable. Because they're just always going to draw the right cards while you just top deck garbage. Like you do when you can't scry all the time. Like such. So they have a Dark Blade Agent. I don't think that changes anything. Cool. More land. Okay. So they no longer want to present the trade with the Whisper Agent, which is a little weird. Seeing as this is the only creature I have, I don't know why they wouldn't just aggressively offer trades. I guess they're scared of like the Haste Golgari guy or something. I don't think you actually do anything for me. Like, I need to hit a Lotleth Giant. Yeah, because if I get a Beast Whisperer, I get to play a 2-3, and then all my other random, if I top deck another 2-2 or something, I get to draw more cards, but I need a removal spell or a Lotleth Giant. That's a Lotleth Giant. He's only at 7, though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gotta really hope they don't have a counterspell, but they almost definitely do. I mean, I guess if they do, their deck's pretty sweet, because that means they got double Sinister Sabotage, so they got double premium uncommons. Let's see. So they might have like a mission briefing. So they can cast mission briefing and flash back their Sinister Sabotage, which would be why they're thinking here. Okay. They had a devious cover-up, so they had to choose their 4 cards to shuffle in. This game's impossible to win now. Well, that's how Dimir works. You're playing a game until you aren't. Until you're just watching your opponent stop everything. So yeah, their deck became a 13-card deck, and then they shuffled like a bunch of removal and counter spells back in, which means that their deck was almost all actually relevant cards versus my deck being a bunch of lands and stuff. Which is how Dimir works. You just can't let them hit late game. I'm keeping that Deadly Visit. But yeah, had I kept the Beast Whisperer, they would have just cover up the Beast Whisperer to shuffle in some counters and removal. Beast Whisperer would have been exiled, so it wouldn't have been in the grave, so I could have put them to 1. If they didn't have a second counter spell, but then they still just have creatures and they're always drawing relevant cards, so I don't think that playing the other way would have resolved that situation. So we're playing against another Dimir player. Looks like they're Sultai like us. They have a Thief of Sanity. So if we draw a Concoct, that could be super, super sweet. Alternatively, I might want to just Undercity Uprising this before it lets them draw any cards. If it hits me once, it mills me 3 and picks one of them for them to be able to cast. Oh, yeah, I don't think I want them to draw any cards. So we're gonna Prey Upon for 4 mana. Here's a 3/1 flying bats. Well, here's a 1/1 flyer, so haha. I'd be fine trading the Imp off for a 3/1 flyer. But if they do still attack here, then it might mean that they have something better in hand. They're running a Narcomoeba. So they've got to have a lot of Surveil in there. Or they're just playing a weird deck. There's an Urban Utopia. Urban Utopia actually does seem fine because it replaces itself. Anything that has draw a card attached to it, you can't go very wrong with it. Let's go Whisper Agent. Pelt Collector. If I play it, it'll be like a 2/2. Suppose it is better than drawing a land. Yeah, because then whenever the Whisper Agent trades off, it'll get a little bit bigger. I'll just leave him. He seems fine. Okay, so if I attack with this Imp, it just trades with a Narcomoeba, which seems bad. So I'll attack with Whisper Agent. See if they want to trade anything. Nope. Alright. I'm just going to end. I'm saving this Imp to block the bats. Or just the threat of blocking the bats, make sure that the Imp is getting value. However, they do have a Watcher in the Mist, so turns out would have been better to just crack it, because I could have killed the Watcher in the Mist for it. But now I can Deadly Visit that. And just keep hitting in with the Whisper Agent. Fail 2 here, let's get rid of that Forest. I have another removal spell coming up now. They're down to 10, I'm up to 26. Alright, Narcomoeba's just fighting the Imp now. They want to get in there with their bats. Which is fair enough. But, me getting in is a lot more important than them right now, because I was at above 20. They are down to 6, so any damage done to them is pretty astronomical here. I'm going to Sever Strands, sacking the Barrier of Bones to get in there. I'm going to play this land now that I drew a Giant, now that I need it. If I top deck a land, they just die to the Giant if they don't have a counterspell. They are going to Deadly Visit my Whisper Agent. That makes my Pelt Collector a 2/2, which means they need to leave their bats back to trade off. Or if they drew another creature, that works too. Apparently they drew another creature. Or a removal spell. Or not. Oh no, they did. Whisper Agent. Alright, so we'll trade off there. They've got nothing left. in their hand. And I'll drop a lot with Giant. Just giving them the GG there for... They tried to oops me into, like, baiting into attack. But, like... that's just confusing, because I would have attacked regardless. Like, opponents trying to have one of those haha moments of, like... oops. I shouldn't have attacked. Oh wait, I have a flash creature. I have outplayed you, sir. That was just... that was one of the weirdest oopses I've seen. This hand is a little bit awkward, but I have all of my colors. I can make it up to 4 mana to hit my Connive at least. And I have a Barrier of Bones to hopefully set up a better draw. I will keep that. I now have a 6 mana card and a 7 mana card that are going to be a little bit awkward, seeing as I have no creatures in my grave. It is looking like I definitely want to concoct on turn 5. Hopefully get multiple creatures in the grave so I can get one of them back and still have a little bit of value off the undergrowth on these giant dudes. Opponent seems to be Boros, probably? They're just red so far. This Barrier of Bones is doing a lot of work keeping this fresh-faced recruit off of my face. And he will be sacrificed to a Severed Strands later. I think the plan is still to just concoct next turn. Hopefully they are a really aggressive little Boros deck where all their creatures are small, because if so, then this hand is really good against them. Opponent is stuck on mana. We're just going to cast Concoct. Ooh boy. I'm leaving the... actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do need another land. We're going to put it above the Deadly Visit. We're going to put that Ferox in the grave and bring it back. So now I draw my land next turn, I get to cast my Vigor Spore Worm, and we'll just get in there. They'll need some really good stuff to survive this game. Because I have double Severed Strands and a Deadly Visit coming up. I will have to spend extra mana on my removal spells though, so I can't Deadly Visit yet, but I can Severed Strands. If I need to. They are Boros, which means their creatures are probably not as large as mine. Would I rather just 2-for-1 them here and then I can cast all of my spells for the same? Yeah, I'm just going to tack in and see if they offer the trade. Nice. Alright, so I'm just going to 2-for-1 there. Yeah, I didn't have anything in Undergrowth for the Vigor Spore Worm, so I could have given the Ferox Vigilance, but it wouldn't have buffed it at all to save it. Alright, so now I have another large creature and I've cleared their board. And I can cast all of my non-creature spells for their regular costs. Opponent's thinking. I think I will cast Deadly Visit before any Severed Strands if I need to kill things, because I want to set up my next draws to hopefully hit a land and then just anything good. Preferably a land and another creature of some form, that way I can cast both of these Severed Strands without having to sacrifice a 6/4 or a 6/5. Sky Knight Legionnaire, that is a 2/2. Not so worried about that. However, my hand is nothing but removal spells, and I do want to set up my jaws, so I am still going to kill it. I like both of these for triggering Undergrowth and having another thing for Severed Strands. I'm just going to keep them. We're going to save this Lotleth Giant. This is probably going to be one of those Lotleth Giants that's just going to come out and deal the rest of their life points away from them, hopefully. Just deal that last 8 or whatever damage. Right now we're just at 1, but we'll have another Plaguecrafter and another Barrier of Bones in there. We have a lot of ways to get our Undergrowth count up before we cast the Giant. Hopefully they're just casting some kind of large creature, so this Plaguecrafter can put in some work. I will be sacrificing the Barrier of Bones to the Plaguecrafter. That way I get to keep a 6/4 and a 3/2. That'll make it so if they cast one creature this turn and I make them sacrifice it, they'll die next turn if they don't cast another creature. Because the Worm will put them to 8 life, and then I'll have a 6/4 and a 3/2 on board to do 9 to them. So they have a Rampaging Monument. That is one creature. That is exactly what I wanted. We're dropping Plaguecrafter. We're all sacking a dude. Alright. They need multiple creatures this turn, because if they play just one creature again, I can cast this Barrier of Bones on top of my deck and then sacrifice it to my Severed Strands. Clear their board and swing in for 9. This seems like it wasn't much of a game. Opponent was mana screwed for quite a while, and it just let me set up off of my really slow hand. Otherwise, this game could have been pretty challenging just to survive, because the hand was relatively slow. Definitely, I think if their deck's decent, if it drew a faster hand, their deck definitely could have just swung in before I could really do anything off the hand that I had, because it was quite a slow hand. So they have a Fire Urchin, which doesn't really do much now. Well, they do have a Direct Current, so they won't die. I'm gonna shoot that Plaguecrafter. They won't die quite yet. I'm gonna drop this Barrier of Bones. I'll leave the land on top, actually. That leaves the Giant to kill them. Alright, they're Boros. Boros doesn't have any counter spells. I'm putting them to 2 life here. Even if they remove my Worm, they're going to need a way to gain some life, because I can do 4 damage to them next turn off the Lotleth Giant. Wojek Bodyguard does not do it. He can block, so he would be able to block the Worm, but I'm just going to cast this Giant to see if they gain any life. Nope. Alright. There goes round 3. I believe we are 2-1 now, which is pretty good. Hopefully, we just keep on winning. Alright. On to round 4. I'm getting a lot of random daily quests doing these drafts. I always like it when I do that, because I'm not a huge fan of Constructed. I'm not really a fan of Constructed at all. I like Commander, but that's about it. Standard is really not my jam, so whenever I have to do daily quests to get more gold to do drafts, it's pretty lame. So it is always nice to accomplish some random daily quests while drafting. Alright. This is not a good opening hand. I can cast Child of Night and nothing else. So we're gonna have to mulligan. This is also a very bad opening hand. I can't cast any of these cards. I do get to scry one. I'm going first, so I'm on the play. Mulliganing to 5 on the play is almost always suicide, so I think I just have to keep a bad hand. Wait, where's the button to say keep? Is my opponent thinking? I don't have a keep button. What is... Hopefully that means my opponent's thinking. Okay, yeah. Alright, we're gonna keep this. Oh, perfect. There is a forest. That could have been astronomically bad, but this hand actually is good if there's a forest in it. Because I get to go 2-drop into 3-drop into drawing another card. Opponent is something aggressive. They're running a Torch Courier, so they are Boros, or is it? Both of those guilds can be very aggressive. Boros is just always very aggressive. So let's see what we got in our grave. No lands. We got a Nullhide Ferox and our way to return creatures from the grave? Come on, what is that? What is that? We're just gonna mill 2 bombs and a removal spell. Sad days. Sad days. I'm not gonna block their 1-1 with my 3-1, but I will trade off for the 2-2. Let's draw a card and make sure that that 1-1 does not keep attacking. Hello? Opponent, are you there? What's going on, man? I think my opponent just spent an hourglass or something. Their thing is beating. So they ran out of time, I think, is what that was. I am not gonna attack. They're Boros, so they are the aggressor. And I will respect that. I will not try to get 3 more damage in and get hit for a bunch next turn instead, when they inevitably cast Tajik and destroy my soul. Here he comes. Oh, nope, just a 1-1. Alright. Well, if all you have is 1-1s, then I'm getting a little more confident about this. Would be super sweet if I had Mephitic Vapors, the thing that just does -1/-1 to everybody, but that's a sideboard card. There are matches where it won't do anything, so you don't really want to main deck it. I'm going to trade off for that guy. Okay. They took a little while there, so I was going to say, unless they want to pump spell, then that's fine too. We'll cast a Whisper Agent here. Surveil to set up our draws. I'm actually not super certain what I want to draw here, but I will know what I don't want to draw when I see it. But I do think I want to draw most of the cards in my deck at this point. Lands and spells are both good right now. I would like to get to the giant eventually. What is this? I guess I'll block. Okay, are we trading? That would be pretty sweet. Weird attack from my opponent. Alright. We're gonna Surveil 1. Undercity Uprising. I think that's actually one of the cards I don't want to draw. I don't care to fight either of these little guys. It is a removal spell if they play something bigger, but I've got other stuff for that, so we're just going to throw that in the grave. Now's not the time. Drop a Spinal Centipede here. Not going to attack with the Agent, but I'll certainly attack with the Centipede if they don't do anything next turn. Just save these to block. They're Boros, so I have to assume my late game is better than theirs, but judging by what they've played so far, they might be a late game Boros deck, which is strange. Just the fact that they have multiple cards in hand and didn't play anything last turn. Of course, it also could be because they needed the red mana to pump, and all their spells are red. Alright, I only need one more land for this Lotleth Giant. I actually do think at this point I should have played the Okapi. That way if they traded off with my Agent and my Centipede, I could still get value. I will just attack with the Centipede then. Yeah, I should have played Okapi and then attacked with everybody. No blocks. Alright. Seem to think they're still on the aggressive with a bunch of 1/1s. Guild Mage is pretty good though. If they get the mana too, they can just start draining me over the rest of the game, which is pretty dangerous. But hopefully at that point I'll have a giant out swinging at them that'll kill them faster. They have double red now if they needed that. Seems like that's a no. Let's drop a Pelt Collector. If two of these creatures die, he's going to get 2 counters, but if they all die, then it doesn't matter. Because once he gets to 3 power, he's not going to get any more counters off these guys. So let's attack with the Centipede and the Vigilance guy. You know what? I have a Pelt Collector. I probably should have just attacked with everybody there. Because trading's good because it works for the... I think our opponent's relatively new to Magic. I think they just tapped my Centipede after it already declared an attack, which doesn't do anything. So opponent's still learning the ropes, which probably explains a lot of things. I could very much still lose. Like, Unicorn is pretty sweet, and their board's gone pretty wide so far. Uh-oh. Alright, so they're going aggressive. They're going for the Unicorn swing. I will trade off with that Unicorn. I'll block with the Whisper Agent. I don't want that Unicorn to be around. Actually, I'll trade off with the Guild Mage, too. Just trade off with everybody. Pelt Collector will become a 3/3. I swing back for 6. If I draw land, I can probably kill them off the Lotleth Giant. Actually, yeah, I can exactly kill them off the Lotleth Giant. So let's see if we draw land. Oh, perfect. Alright, well, Lotleth Giant is consistently ending games, so I think I undervalued that guy. Card is pretty sick. Opponent did find a way to clear the board, but Undergrowth cards are good at coming back after that. Alright. We're just going to go ahead and open this pack. Just in the middle for you guys if you want to see. I usually just open my packs immediately. Well, that is crap. I now have a playset of Assure and Dissemble. Because I drafted one and then I opened like 3. So that's beautiful. Alright, let's get back into the draft. But yeah, on Magic Arena, the drafts that you get for prizes and the drafts that you use, or the packs that you get for prizes and the packs that you use for drafts are different. So the prize packs, they can't be used for anything other than adding cards to your collection, so there's no reason not to just open them immediately unless you're just hoarding them to have a massive pack opening, which I don't really care about. I would rather just use the cards when I have them. Alright, so this hand's a little bit awkward, but I have all my colors, and if I draw a forest, this hand's really good. If not, I have a turn 3 play, and then if I draw any land, I have a turn 4 play. I think I have to keep here, and I do think I'm on the draw, which this hand's definitely better on the draw. Opponent mulligan to 6. We did draw a land, but it is not a forest, so I cannot Beast Whisperer, but I can Connive if need be. Which might be the case. Opponent's off to a decently aggressive start. Skyline Scout is a good early creature. I did draw the second forest now. They're dropping a District Guide for a Selesnya Guildgate, so opponent is almost definitely straight Selesnya. Alright, we're dropping the Okapi. I will trade for the Scout if they let me. Nope. They don't want to trade for anybody, they're just sending him in the air. Alright, let's see if they have removal. We are gonna not attack. Still getting in there with the Scout. I might actually just want to steal that Scout, actually. That's whenever I cast. Do I cast it from my grave? No, I just return it from my grave to the battlefield. Concoct will also maybe fill my grave for the worm to do a little bit of something. Let's go for it. We're gonna concoct. I do have a Severed Strands to gain a little bit of life. I don't want this guild gate. Do I want another Severed Strands? Probably not, actually. We'll do that. Send in with the Okapi now that we have another card. They don't even want to block, so we're getting a little bit of damage in, which is nice. They have their own Beast Whisperer. I am going to sever that guy. Wait, that was a misplay. I should not have attacked with the 3-2. Now I have to sack my Beast Whisperer to kill their Beast Whisperer? Or my Ferox. I don't think I want to do that. I'll just sack my Beast Whisperer, whatever. We'll trade. Should not have attacked with the 3-2, but... now all they have is the Scout, and I have a 6/6 hexproof, so it's probably okay. Now my Worm also has more Undergrowth cards. Conclave Cavalier. Alright. They can poop out some 2/2s. This stupid little Scout is gonna kill me. Spinal Centipede. That is a card. Cavalier's pooping out its 2/2s. This game is very close. I am not a fan. Man, if my dumbass would not have attacked with that 3/2, I would be in a much better state here. Because I would have drawn an additional card off my Beast Whisperer. Now they have a Rock Charger as well. Plague Crafter. Well, that's gonna kill a 2/2. Man, I am just gonna die to this sky ship. Could give this guy a 3rd toughness so it doesn't just trade off with a 2/2. We'll do that. Whoa, what is this? They let me get rid of their flying dude. They do have a Rock Charger, so maybe they just have a gigantic dude now to give flying to just end me. But if not, that was sweet for me. Oh dear, there's a gigantic dude to end me. Alright, so they're hitting me for 3 in the air. If I get any removal spell, I win. Yes. Oh wait, no, I don't quite win. I leave them with a 2/2. I leave them with a 2/2, so the 2/2 trades with the Ferox. They take 10. That seems like I'll probably win, right? Seems like I'll probably win. So yeah, their 2/2's gonna trade off with the Ferox. But they'll take 10. They have 2 cards. They have 1 card that matters. Drop a Pelt Collector, so even if they kill my things, he'll get bigger. Let's see if they have anything. That game was really stressful. Of course, it's not over yet. Who knows what they have. Alright, nothing. Whew, that game was stressful. That Beast Whisperer play was loose. I should have sacrificed my Okapi rather than attacked with it. Alright, into round 6? We've played 5 rounds, we won 4, lost 1. Alright. I will keep this. We have a turn 3 Okapi and a turn 4 Whisperer. Whisperer or Uprising. We have plays. And again, not worried that I don't have blue. There's not a single card in this deck that I need blue for. It's just I can concoct if I do have blue. Oh, they're playing blue. I really hope they're playing Is It? Because that one Dimir match just... I don't want to play Dimir anymore. It was my one loss, so I could be biased, but that match was rough. Ooh, Simic. What are we playing? Ravnica Allegiance? That's not out till next year, right? January or February? I am really excited about that. Simic is super cool. Gruul is super cool, Orzhov is super cool, Azorius is okay, and Rakdos is okay. But Simic, Gruul, and Orzhov are all sweet. So I am excited. Ooh, am I gonna get to do the classic Generous Stray to draw 2? That would be sweet. Usually you just do that with like Panharmonicon or stupid stuff, but I'm gonna do it with Beast Whisperer. If he's alive. So they're playing Bant. So they're playing Selesnya with blue, which maybe they're 5-color or something, because this is confusing. There is no blue-white or blue-green guild in the set, but they certainly are blue-white-green over there. Let's just keep casting creatures, drawing a whole bunch of cards. That's gotta be sweet, right? Pilfering Imp. Nah. It's already in the grave. It is a cheap creature to cast and draw a card, but... Oh. Okay. I guess we win. Alright. Well. Our band's opponent that thought they were playing Ravnica Allegiance or something just did not want to play. They realized none of their cards were actually Azorius or Simic, and then they got sad. Now, I think it's because we managed to get a Beast Whisper out and got to draw some cards off it that they were like, well, that's game. Because then I just had board presence and card advantage. It would have been very hard for them to win that. Of course, I don't know what's in their deck. Maybe they just had to go. Maybe they had to go grab some McDonald's or something. I don't know. I don't know their life. This hand is risky. I need a land. And then it's probably okay, because then I drop a Generous Stray to draw a card and then drop a Ceratok. This hand is risky, but I'm going to keep it. I am going to keep it. I really like the concept of turn 1 Pelt Collector. Opponent is also Golgari. Maybe multiple colors. Ooh, Golgari Selesnya. Alright. Urban Utopia. Ooh, are they 5-color guild gates? Please. Please be 5-color. That would be sweet. I have yet to see anyone doing 5-color, and I have wanted to do it. As you can see by the way I drafted today. Yo, they're 5-color! Opponent is 5-color. They're going deep. Ledev Champion. We are going to Plague Crafter. You want to see this sick combo? So Plague Crafter is going to enter the battlefield, which puts a counter on Pelt Collector. Then he's going to die, which puts another counter on Pelt Collector. Seems real groovy. That was sick. I didn't even consciously put that combo in here. I just put some good cards in here, and they happen to work very well together. This guy's definitely going to get killed now by some kind of removal spell. But it is pretty awesome when your 1-drop gets a removal spell out of your opponent. Alright, well, we got a Generous Stray now. Meow. Deadly Visit. That is not a land, which is what I need. So they're green, red, white, and black. Oh, they just spent a blue. Guild Summit for 1 card. However, whenever they draw more guild gates, they get to draw more cards. The card advantage is probably the strongest thing about their deck. This would probably be a decent matchup if I were drawing lands on curve. I would have a Ceratok out at this point. Next turn I'd have a Vigor Spore Worm. They'd be in some trouble. Circuitous Route. Is that when it enters the battlefield? Oh my god, they're about to draw 2 cards. Pretty groovy. Man, they got all the cards. I didn't even see a Circuitous Route in my draft. I wanted one. I wanted one after I picked up the Guild Summit and the rare dude. Goblin Banneret. Alright. I mean, he is a mana sink. I do have my land, so I can drop the Ceratok and just block the Banneret with Generous Stray, hopefully. Could also have just stolen the Banneret, but I don't feel like it. Dude, my mind is going to be blown if they cast a Glaive of the Guild Pact. Lava Coil to kill the Ceratok. Do I get to keep my Generous Stray? That'd be really groovy. Ornery Goblin. Opponent's deck is confusing. I always assumed that you would just pick up all the sweet multicolored cards if you're going to be in this kind of deck, but they just have some little red goblin dudes. So this is really awkward right now, because if I Prey Upon, they can just spend their mana to hit my Stray. Like, I'll just trade for the Banneret. I could steal their Ornery Goblin. I don't want to do that. This is pretty awkward. Problem now, though, is if I just pass, they can swing in with the Banneret, pump it, and make their Ornery Goblin bigger. This is so stupid. This is so stupid, but I'm taking that Goblin. Are they going to pump them up? They can use a pump spell? Oh no, they're just going to counter it. Alright. Well, my Generous Stray is going to block the Banneret. Another Guild Gate, so they get to draw another card. Card advantage out the roof. And I'm still just waiting on the 6th land. They have Bant mana. Are they casting another Guild Summit? Sonic Assault. That is really good right now, since I've only got to cast 2 dudes all game. Oh wait, no, I cast these guys. Okay, more accurately, since I only have 1 dude on board, Sonic Assault is very good. Well, that hurts. Okay, I do have a land. So this is pretty stupid, but I need to get that shit out of here. No land to get rid of. Oh wait, no, there's a Dimir Guild Gate, which I don't need blue at all anymore. So yeah, let's get rid of that. I'm going to keep this barrier because I actually have multiple Severed Strands. They probably have haste. They have a lot of red. I am at 8 and they have a Sonic Assault, so not liking the life totals, but Severed Strands will get me back up a little bit. If they cast their Sonic Assault sometime, I'll be able to use the Vigor Spore Worms Plus to get more damage in, but if not... Oh, they're just going to use Find. They could have done Finality, but... my board is so small that there was just no point. Goblin, Banneret, and Ledev Champion. So here comes Bury Your Bones. Another land, please. Lot Less Giant. Where to keep you? You are massive. They can Sonic Assault my Generous Stray and get in there with the Banneret, so I think I have to double Severed Strands. I have to double Severed Strands to live. This is dumb. because Sonic Assault is sick. Yeah, so they go Sonic Assault, I go down to 9. Next turn they attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I have to double Severed Strands. Lame. Hopefully they're finally out of cards. But this Guild Summit has given them a lot, so... Here's a Vigor Spore Worm with no value, because I don't have any creatures to buff it. Would have been really nice if I had one more land. But I'm still totally fine with milling that Guild Gate earlier. So they're just killing it. Please, let's top deck a land. Can we top deck better than our opponent? Oh hell yeah, that's a land. But now they just get to Sonic Assault. That puts me down to 11. They can hit for 4 that turn. They are going to Sonic Assault, it looks like. Yep. So I'm going down to 7. I need to top deck actual cards. 2 1/1s with lifelink. They got chump blockers. I guess I'm fighting the Centaur. I'm not attacking this turn. Oh, come on, man. Stop drawing cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. They've hit 11 lands. I've hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. They have hit more lands than me. Which makes sense, because they have searched for multiple lands. I don't think that I can combat right now. They have hit 11. So they still have at least 6 in their deck, probably. So hopefully we can have them hit some of them. Apparently now is not that time. What? Are you... What? They have double Find Finality? Good God. Yeah, well, this is impossible to win. Jesus Christ. Alright. Let's just get out of that match and move on. Alright. I believe we're in round 8? I don't know. Rounds are irrelevant. We are 5 wins in and 2 losses. Going into the next match here. This is a little bit awkward, but I'm gonna keep it. If I draw any land, I do have a removal spell on turn 5. And I do have a Wild Ceratok on turn 4, no matter what I draw. Night Veil Sprite. So we're playing against Demir. Turn 2 Child of Night now. Which will probably get in there a little bit, because I don't think they'll want to trade off for the Sprite, and if they do, that is a fine trade for me. don't have any 3-drops, so we'll drop the Guild Gate. Depending on what they play here, I might want to steal their Sprite. Seems like they're stuck on land. Which I actually don't need to steal my Sprite for. Let's just put pressure on as best as we can. Which I think would be to play a Ferox. The only problem with that is that I can't play Connive and Concoct. Could also play a Beast Whisperer now to shore up the late game, but the late game is going to be a lot harder to win. Yeah, I'm going to play Ferox and just try to do as much to them while they're stuck on land as possible. There's a third island, Demir Informant here. Surveil 2. Okay, they're probably out of the land rut at this point. Or not. Or they will scoop. Okay, well, opponent kept a mono-colored hand in their 2-colored deck, hoping to surveil in 2 mana, and they unfortunately did not. So, here we are in the final game, win or lose. Of course, I do hope I win, but we'll see. No matter what, it's the final match. Alright, I like this hand. I have Barrier of Bones to stop early game plays. I also have a Pilfering Imp to check out what's in their hand, and then I just Generous Stray on turn 3 and then hopefully draw some cards. So I have double Surveil and a draw spell. So hopefully that gets me somewhere. This hand actually is not very good because these are all really low impact cards, but I just really like that I can cast all of it. Of course, I technically can't cast the Stray, but I have a hard time imagining not getting to a land off of these 2 Surveil cards. They start with a mountain. There is my 3rd land. So, do I even need to barrier right now? Let's just get the Guild Gates out of the way. I can cast one of my barriers next turn. Opponent is it? Vidalcan Mesmerist. Whenever it attacks, target creature gets -2/-0 till end of turn. Barrier of Bones will stop that. Fine. So we'll play him. Don't want another land? Do I want to hit 4? Nope, everything in my hand costs 3 right now, so let's just get that out of here. They're going to swing in. If they want to use a pump spell to kill my O3, that is 100% okay with me. Nope. Looks like they were just threatening it. Drop a Centipede. But then they just won't attack with the Mesmerist, and then they're on the aggressive. I think I'll just play the Stray here and see what we draw into. Are they going to counter a Generous Stray? They're thinking about it. So opponent has a counterspell, most likely. Of course they could just be thinking about other things, like checking out what's in their hand and stuff while they have time. Murmuring Mystic. I want to get that thing out of here ASAP, but I don't have any removal. That thing can take over the game real easy. Let's drop a barrier. If it's not a removal spell, I'm milling it. Alright, get out of here, Swamp. I need removal. And I need it yesterday. Drop an Imp. Prey Upon doesn't even do anything. Drop a Centipede. I think I'm gonna Imp. So if I don't get a removal spell next turn, I can at least use the Imp to get rid of one of their cards. One of their instants and sorceries. Hellkite Whelp. I yet again find myself needing removal. I don't have it. Looks like I'm going to have to spend all my mana this turn to Spinal Centipede and Prey Upon. I'll just do that. Otherwise, this Hellkite Whelp is going to start killing all my creatures. Oh, I still want to pilfer them, but nothing else can get through anyway, so we're going to put the counter on the Imp. Basically, everything else I have is a defender. The Barrier Bones are literally defenders, and the Generous Stray is probably a defender. So they have a Crackling Drake, so they're not casting any instants or sorceries so far. Which is really good, because that means their Murmuring Mystic and their Crackling Drake aren't really doing anything. This Pilfering Imp doesn't do anything when they have an 0-4 out there, so let's see what they got. They have a Counterspell, a Sonic Assault, and a Sure Strike. This is not good at all. Oh, Lord. If I hit the Sonic Assault, they can just cast it from the grave anyway. No matter what I hit, I'm only taking one instant away from them, so I guess I'll take the Counterspell and just remember... Or I don't even have to remember because it's Magic Arena. Just pay attention to those. If I could draw some Severed Strands anytime soon, that would be sweet. Oh boy. Now they got something to surveil away some instants and sorceries and pump their guys up. That is not a land or a Severed Strands. Which is what I need right now. Your stupid 1/5 is just stonewalling my team. Even though I do have large creatures, I just can't cast them right now. I have a Lotleth Giant, and I have large creatures still in the deck. Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to die to these flyers now. Because I am not drawing removal for the life of me. Well, I had a Prey Upon. I got rid of one of their flyers. The Hellkite Whelp. Jesus Christ. Come on, game. Please. Please. Oh. You are not a removal spell. Man, it's just too late now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. They do 12 to me. Yeah, I'm just dead next turn. Well, that sucked. They had the Murmuring Mystic, and I did not have any way to kill it. The Crackling Drake is also another threat. Just a lot of flying threats over there. So yeah, next turn they hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 2 more from doing 2 damage, plus 3 more from Sure Striking, which is 10, plus, because they would have had 2 more instants and sorceries in their grave, Crackling Drake will get plus 2 more power, which means 12? Did I miscount somewhere? I thought I counted it lethal. Oh. Alright. They could have done... Oh, wait, no. Sonic Assault wouldn't have added anymore, because it's already in the grave. So it would have been... Just 2 more damage from the Sonic Assault. Puts me to 6. 4 more damage from the Sure Strike puts me to 2. Okay. Regardless, I drew a Rhino, so I am just dead. So that was my first Guilds of Ravnica non-competitive draft? I don't know. That was my second Guilds draft on Arena, on recording. Let's go ahead and open up our prizes. So we get 850 gems. It only costs 750 to draft, which means that I get to draft again for free, basically, which is awesome. So let's claim our prize here and check out what's in this booster pack. And then I will just say thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next draft. Ooh, rare wild card. Nice. That will put some work towards my mono-red standard deck, because, as I've said before, I don't like playing standard, so I just want to play the fastest deck that lets me play as little as possible. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Pretty good draft, 6-3. It was not a 7-win draft, unfortunately, but we got close. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next draft. Bye-bye.